Well, hello, welcome. Thank you for downloading this episode of Parks and Conversation. We are going to be talking about an episode of the classic NBC sitcom Parks and Recreation. And my name is Jason, and I'm joined all the way across town by my friend Jeremy. Say hello, Jeremy.
Hey, how's it going?
So good. So good. It's a beautiful day, and we get to talk about a wonderful television program.
And a fine episode to boot.
It is a fine episode. I really enjoyed rewatching this episode. And the episode in question is season 2, episode 10, The Hunting Trip. And it is a great little journey with the whole parks department and Anne going on a hunting trip together.
And Anne.
So, which is in my notes. Why is Anne here? But whatever. So that's the basic gist of the show. They go on a hunting trip.
All right. But we'll see you next week.
There are problems.
Oh, yeah.
There are problems. So the cold open. I love this cold open because it highlights the nonsense that is the Pawnee City Hall. Again, way too many people there. And nowhere in any office place I feel like it would be appropriate for the shoe shine guy to give people piggyback rides.
Sure.
I mean, maybe that's just the office culture I grew up in.
Well, I mean, I think the first thing is you have to have a shoe shine guy. Like maybe we don't know because I've never worked at a place with a shoe shine guy. Maybe they all give piggyback rides. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. The closest thing in my experience is I worked at Safeco Insurance, and right before I quit, they opened up a hair salon and a dry cleaner, like on campus.
Okay.
And I just shook my head at the hair salon, like, you really work so much that you want, like, you can't get a haircut, like you can only do it at work. And it was very upsetting to me.
Insurance doesn't stop. It's a 24/7 thing. So,
I guess, but that's not the attitude of any of my coworkers in my department. So it was I guess this is over. Bye. Always. So, so Andy has said that, like Tom is saying, hey, it's great having Andy here. The best thing is piggyback rides whenever you want, which my initial response is never. I never want. But Andy has no problem giving people piggyback rides and all throughout and yelling, causing a ruckus in a serious place of government, as serious as Pawnee can be.
Sure.
And then Leslie is getting a piggyback ride from him.
I don't have a number or iMessage address for Bonnie.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want to send it?
My phone is talking to me. What is your problem? Sorry, internet people. My phone asked me if I wanted to call Bonnie. So
never.
No, I don't. I don't know Bonnie. So Leslie is getting a piggyback ride, and she runs into Councilman Hauser, who is my favorite councilman. He lasts throughout the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
We never see him running for council. He's just a fixture. And he seems to be the only council member who actually cares about the government of Pawnee outside of future characters we'll talk about when we get there. But like, he's the most down to earth, no nonsense council person. And Leslie runs into him in the hall while getting a piggyback ride, and then proceeds to have like a legit conversation about government and the parks proposal that she has, and it's about allocation of resources, and we both know we could find the money. All the while she's getting a piggyback ride from Andy, and then he's like, well, Hauser's like, I gotta go, and Leslie just says, well, I'll walk with you. And Andy, supportive, on the ball, Andy is like, I will also go with you now. I am now Leslie's beast of burden.
Yeah, it's your classic Mad Max, Master Blaster situation.
Yes, 2 men enter, 1 man leave.
Yeah.
I'm Master, he's Blaster. Oh, man. I don't think there are any Mad Max movies that I can remember or quote other than Thunderdome.
Yeah, I don't.
Go ahead.
Know what you're going to say.
Well, it's the only one that is like, there's quotable stuff. Everything else is just like a dreary hellscape.
Yeah, of one-liners of survival.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
even I just recently watched Fury Road
Mhm.
for the first time,
Oh,
and I
wow.
really enjoyed it.
That's really good.
But it was really just a boomerang trip. We're going to go drive as far as we can
Really was.
and come back.
Wait a minute. We got to go back. Yeah. And I love, so I'm just going to pivot, talking about turning around, how this starts Leslie's kind of running.
Wait, you're just going to walk away from my Mad Max?
Well, I started it and I will turn away, Master Blaster style. How Leslie always gets caught in the hallway by Councilman Hauser doing something really silly and immature, which is just, I just think is really funny. Throughout the series, this pops up. So yeah, this is the first one. It's great.
Yeah, it is a very, it's a good little trope that Leslie wants to be serious,
yes,
but she's often up to nonsense. And then Hauser is always serious, no nonsense. So he's what she aspires to be.
Right.
Which is fun. So that's all in the cold open.
And
credits happen.
But I love when he's getting when Tom's getting the piggyback ride from Andy, and they go around Mark's office, and he's like, "Mark, Bran, Danowitz," and then Mark just looks at the camera like, seriously, and like it's probably been the 5th time that they've done it. It's great.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah. You get a peek into Mark's office, and one of the things that is confusing to me is he has 2 doors.
Yeah, he's kind of in a fishbowl, like,
yeah, which is very strange. And he has no other people in his department. Like he's all by himself.
Yeah, that's why he can just go hang out with the parks department anytime he wants.
I guess so. Right. Which leads to another one of the questions about this episode. Because I said, the parks department goes on a hunting trip and Anne, but also Mark goes because he is not in the parks department. He is a city planner. But it cuts to, after the cold open, it cuts to them in the council room. And this is the first time Ron is actually excited about anything having to do with the parks department because he and Jerry are talking about going and doing a trail survey over the weekend.
Like just seeing what trails think about things.
Yeah. How do you feel about being trod upon?
Mm.
And they're like, hey, don't tread on me. But Ron and Jerry are doing this annual thing where they go on a hunting trip that is a secret just for the men in the office. But then Tom says, not all the men. Okay, all the guys. All the guys in the office, not all the guys. Okay, all the men. And so Leslie wants to weasel her way in to this because she can't handle not being a part of something, partly because it is, it's a boys club and she's always trying to break into the boys club. And this is part of feminist inclusion agenda of Leslie Knope. And it's not bad what she's doing, but it's annoying to Ron because he would rather just do the same thing with the same people all the time.
Sure.
So any change is bad. And when Leslie confronts him about it, Ron's attitude isn't like, no, never. He's like, well, it is a work thing, so I can't keep you from coming.
Yeah, legally, I can't say no.
Yeah, which is great because it's true.
Yeah.
So they are all ready to go. And then this is where we run into Anne. Leslie's picking her up. And Anne has no interest really in hunting. She just wants to go sit by a campfire and read her Real Simple magazine. And Leslie already did all the work to get her a hunting license, which seems like fraud is involved here somewhere.
Sure.
Getting a hunting license for somebody else when they didn't even want one. So that's probably not great.
Have you ever gone hunting?
No.
Is fishing hunting?
Oh, well, maybe, but I mean, hunting, I feel like hunting, you have to go and like get the thing, hunt the beast.
Yeah.
Whereas fishing is you're like more like meeting them somewhere and hoping they fall for your tricks. So I don't know if it's the same.
Yeah. Interesting.
Where would you land on that?
I don't know. I think fishing is the hunting of the ocean. So, or the waterways. But I guess you don't use explosives. I guess but you can hunt with a bow and arrow, but you can fish with bow and arrows too. I mean, this could be a deep dive. No pun intended.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of ways to look at this, But either way, I'm not interested in either of them. Personally,
Fair enough.
I have been fishing, and it is not something that I eagerly want to do. My son recently has discovered the joys of fishing, and it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know how to help you. Like, you really want to do this, but I don't know what to do here.
You're on your own, man. Sorry.
Well, fortunately, his grandfather is a great fisherman, so he's been going out with him and stuff, which is great. But still, and hunting, I have shot a gun before, and there's even a scene in this where Anne shoots a gun, and she's like, "Oh, I see why people enjoy this."
Right.
And I can get on board. Like, yeah, it's fun to shoot guns and stuff, but not something I need. It's kind of like owning a boat. I don't need a boat, but it's fun to have a boat, go on a boat, like do boat stuff. But I don't need to own it.
Yeah, just have friends. Have friends with boats. That's why you have,
exactly
right.
And then you can shoot fish. Right? Is that how it works? No.
Depends on the fish.
Depends on the fish. So let's see where we at. Okay, so Leslie's getting everybody to go. Anne is coming with Leslie. Leslie asks April to do a simple task while she's away. April is the only Parks Department member who is not going on this trip. She asks her to call the state's park department and read them a confirmation number. And so, Leslie's like, "Can you handle this?" And he was like, "I don't think so." So that's the April story for this whole episode.
Feels like this could have been handled in an email, and then April could have gone on the hunting trip.
Well, I'm positive April would not have wanted to go on the hunting trip.
Yeah, but that would have made it even better.
But if they did this over the email, we wouldn't have been able to find Andy's great parody song for the hold music.
That's true.
Which is important for the episode. So, so the crew. So April is at the office on hold. The crew arrives at the cabin, which is the park ranger cabin where the hunting trip is going to happen. And right away, Mark pantses Jerry and says, "I am the Pants King," which is I guess a tradition in this whole project. Anywhere else, this would have been called harassment and not good. And then Leslie pantses Tom because she can't not be involved. This is the Dwight Schrutification of Leslie Knope. Like, she has to do what all the guys are doing. And Tom is not cool with it. So they get into the cabin, and Tom's trying to be tough, and he offers everybody some chewing tobacco.
Oh, some mouth tobacco.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Ron's response is, "I wouldn't have pegged you for a user of mouth tobacco." And so, this is gross. Tom is so they're all chewing tobacco, Leslie too, and then Tom's like, "Ooh, I'm a little queasy," and he swallowed his chew, which is gross. Now, have you ever had any encounters with chewing tobacco, Jeremy? This is a safe place.
I've had my share.
You've had a pinch?
Yeah. And also I had when I was growing up, I had a neighbor who chewed, and they also, from time to time would enjoy a beer, and he would use his empty beer bottles as spit, containers. And one time I was over, and he got the two mixed up, and he actually puked. So if you could, visualize that, what's been your experience?
Well, I can visualize it because I have experienced it.
Oh.
When I was a kid, my dad used to chew, and he would spit in his Diet Coke can, and I was a sipper. I would find cans and just sip them, and I sipped his spit cha, whatever you call it, and it was the nastiest thing ever in my life.
I don't like it,
and it was not good. So, there are many things that I have seen people who are older than me engaged in, and immediately my response has been hard pass. No thanks.
Yeah.
Smoking is like, I know too many people in my family whose face look like old wallets. So it's like hard pass.
Yeah.
Chew, no thanks. gross, gross, gross. And here, I do appreciate, here is one more example of, television giving us a responsible message. That's why they call it chew and not swallow. So
well, it's like, and then it's crazy though, because then you have things like Big League Chew, where it's like, oh, you can't have chewing tobacco, have some bubble gum that's like
that's shredded, that's like tobacco.
Yeah, exactly.
So gross. I hate Big League Chew too.
Yeah, it lasted about 7 seconds of taste, and then it just turned into flavorless rubber.
Right, and then you just chaw on. It's like, ugh, so gross. Yeah, and then also like the temptation is just to put more in, so you get more flavor. So it just grows and grows and grows. It's nasty.
Yeah, but you got that cool pouch that folds over. You get to look like really cool when you, I guess. I don't know.
No, it's not cool.
Right.
All these kids trying to look cool, just don't.
Oh, I just meant like last week when I had it, but whatever. That's fine.
Did you buy a Big League Chew last week?
No.
Do they still make it?
I only buy the bubble gum by the foot.
Fruit by the foot?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Bubble tape.
Bubble tape. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever put a whole bubble tape in your mouth?
I'm an American, so of course I have.
You have to. Yeah.
You put the whole, like, we would walk down from my parents' house where I grew up. So I guess it was my house at the time. We would walk down to Super 24, which is like the sketchy 7-Eleven.
Wait, they're open longer.
Yeah, they're open. They're also open 24 hours. And we would buy a comic book and a bubble tape and eat the whole bubble tape on the way home by just throwing it all in our mouth. And like, I'm 8. My mouth is not that big.
No.
And I could barely get it. Like, I could barely chew.
It's a wheel of gum.
It's so gross. And I think that is why, like, my jaw makes a clicking noise even today.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
So the chewing tobacco is happening, and that's not great. And then Leslie is going to bring some knowledge to the team, and so she gives some instructions on like gun safety, and says it's important to never. She asks Donna, why is it important to never look down the barrel of a gun? To which Donna says, is it really? And starts looking right at the barrel of the gun. And Ron's like, don't ever point the gun at another person, not even yourself, which is important for later. And then Ron gives a toast. And his toast is simply to the hunt. And then Leslie gives this poetic, beautiful toast about the power of the hunter and all of these things. And people are like, they appreciated Leslie's toast, but Ron did not appreciate it because he likes tradition. He likes the same. And so he's clearly annoyed. And then they break up into groups, boy, girl. And so Ron and Leslie are tied together, and then they get to hunting. And then cuts back to the office where April is waiting on hold, and she really needs to go to the bathroom. And so she asks Andy to come in and wait for her, and then read the number if they call. So
now you've worked customer service, like you've probably been on hold in your lifetime, right?
Oh yeah,
or place people on hold.
No, never.
I'm just curious. The music, the hold music that you get, do you know the creepy hold music that I'm talking about?
The kind that is not an actual song, not Muzak, but just like
No. Here, I have an audio clip that I wanted to play just to see if you've heard this before. Because I swear, every time I'm on hold, this is the song that plays, and I always have to question like, why this one? It feels like I'm in a weird 1980s horror. So here, can you hear that?
Oh yeah, I know this song.
I know this song.
Jason is about to come kill me with Freddy's gloves.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right? Why? Like, am I supposed to be
How
scared?
did you find this?
Am I scared that I'm on hold? Like, I don't know. Are you coming to my house? Like, what? Is that why I'm on hold? 'Cause-
What? How did you track this down? Did you call somebody just to get put on hold?
Oh yeah, I've been on hold with the cable company for like 3 hours just to be able to play that. No, it's a YouTube. There's actually an hour. There's a YouTube clip that's 1 hour of that. If you really need to listen to it.
I don't
But
need to.
Everybody knows it. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a episode. I think it's This American Life, where one of the reporters, her father, is very into a particular hold song, and he like went on a mission to track down the artist and all that stuff. Yeah, so it's a real thing. Some people really like that music. They find it soothing.
Yeah.
I don't count myself among some of those people.
It's okay.
So they, so April and Andy waiting on hold. And then
this is where Andy makes up his hold music, right? Or no?
Well,
no, that's later.
It'll be just a few moments from this moment. So Leslie and Ron are paired up, and Leslie shoots a bird, and she's like, tells Ron, like, I think you're really just upset that I'm a better hunter than you. And so they enter into a competition on who can get the most birds. And then it cuts to Tom and Donna, who are with Jerry, and Tom tries to shoot a crow, which I totally get. Donna just shoots up into the air at nothing, and Jerry is the one who's like, what is happening right now? Like, this is not good. And it cuts to Ann and Mark, and Ann is doing some target practice, shooting a can. This is, I think, fairly typical behavior of like Ann and Mark, like that kind of stuff. And even, people who don't hunt, like that, like Tom and Donna, like this is what they think hunting is about.
Yeah.
And, it's not. And Jerry tells us what hunting really is about. The real spirit of hunting for Jerry is that on this trip he can finally use the bathroom standing up. Finally, because he lives in a house with all girls, and so this is the only time he gets to pee standing up, as he's going back to the cabin to get a beer. And while he is getting the beer, we hear a gunshot, and then Ron crying out, "Somebody shot me in the head."
Uh-oh.
And so they're trying to figure out what's going on with this. And he Anne's like, I need you to stay calm. And Ron says, I'm going to stay angry. I find it relaxing, which is so good. And Donna freaks out because she starts screaming. And so they cut over to her. And this is like the high drama of this park department. Like, someone's been shot, and then Donna starts screaming out and is like, has someone else been shot? And so the camera and the crew run over, and it's just somebody shot her window, which is, she loves this car.
Oh, yeah.
So I can understand why she's so upset. But that's not nearly as bad as somebody getting shot in the head. All right. So while all this is happening, Andy and April are still there. April comes back, and Andy sings his song. It's his parody song for "I'm All Out of Love," and it's great. And I don't remember all the words off the top of my head. Do you, by chance, did you want to sing it?
No, not right now.
Okay, good.
I'll sing it during our clip show where we put all of our best songs together for the holiday episode.
Which holiday?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Arbor Day.
Okay, that would make sense because it is a parks themed show,
right?
And parks have trees.
And Arbor Day doesn't get a lot of love for holiday episodes.
That's true.
Yeah,
I mean, Earth Day has overtaken Arbor Day.
It's true.
I mean, where's the justice? Trees are also a part of Earth.
Yeah.
All right, so Ron, as they're working through this, Ron accuses Leslie of shooting him because she's super competitive and like she would do anything to beat him. And Leslie's like, no, that's ridiculous. I would never do that. And then the rest of the group is like, maybe somebody is hunting us. And they hear something outside, and so Tom's like grabs his gun, and Mark is there to saying like, don't shoot anything. And somebody says, I think it's Jerry, like, shoot over their head. And Tom's response is, I'm going to shoot under their head.
What's that going to do? I'm going to shoot under the head.
And so he does. He opens the door and just fires. And there is a guy out there, but it turns out it's the guy from the Mercedes dealership who came to check out Donna's car.
Craig.
Craig. Which is amazing because like somebody called the police, right?
They called the Rangers.
They called the Rangers, and the Mercedes guy was faster than the Rangers guy.
Well, that's what you get when you buy a Mercedes. That's why she loves that car so much. Mostly, not only is it a smooth and comfortable ride, but the customer service that you get along with it as well.
They should really highlight that in the ads.
Someone should.
We will come and check your broken window when your friend has been shot in the head.
Yeah.
Time us.
It was written for him, you know.
Yeah. So then it cuts back to Anne and April. And they are sitting in the Anne and Andy. April and Andy. There's so many A names.
Yeah.
April and Andy. And they are in the office practicing spit takes. Which is somebody says something shocking and somebody's drinking something and they spit the liquid out of their mouth because they were so shocked by what has just been said. And April is, hers is great. And then it's Andy's turn to try to get April to do a spit take. And Andy's shocking statement was, what do you mean the squirrel took the nuts out of that kid's backpack and ate them? And then April's like, no, that's not good. You got to do something surprising. And then his next shocking statement is...
Not a question.
Yeah, not a question, right? His next statement is, I have lived in Pawnee my whole life. That is something about me. Very purred happily.
Terrible at spit takes.
Yeah, I think purred happily would be also terrible at spit takes because everything is a surprise to him. And so he's just learned never to drink anything.
Right.
Because I was watching a future episode where he goes to a restaurant and he says, I will have an empty glass.
That's the best way to avoid a spit take.
Exactly. So Purd has learned some things. Purd has learned.
I would watch that.
An educational program with Purd.
Yeah.
Because he'd just be learning everything with you.
Exactly.
So, all right. So it cuts back and Leslie and Anne are talking and Anne says she knows who shot Ron. And then the park ranger shows up.
Finally.
And Leslie takes the fall it has not been revealed to us who has shot Ron at this point, but Leslie just goes ahead and takes the fall for shooting Ron in the head. And so as she's being interrogated by the ranger, she acts dumb. She's like, it's because I'm a woman. I got that tunnel vision you were talking about. I was thinking with my lady parts and like all the kinds of like stereotypes. And because she's trying to really sell that it was her fault.
Yeah, because her original lie wasn't really working. And so she's just saying what the park ranger, it's like, well, you're just a woman. So she's just leaning into that because, he's got her trapped as far as the actual hunting facts go. So, right. I also felt like, did you feel that the way they wrote this with Leslie, Leslie kind of like trying to get out from everybody, like who shot Ron, that they were leading you to believe that she actually had shot Ron, but was kind of covering it up because she was so competitive. Like from what we've known about Leslie a little bit, she'd be willing to bend it. Like when she's like, who did this? Like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like, well, no one said anything. So, you know what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see how it could seem that way, but I never, even when I watched this the first time, I never once thought Leslie shot Ron.
Yeah.
Because Ron is like, there was a bird by me. I know how competitive you are. And I don't think Leslie, I think Leslie would have, as a character, felt terrible for shooting Ron. Like right away. So, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll never know how Leslie would feel if she shot Ron. Which is probably good.
I don't know how she would feel. I mean, how do we know what any television character would feel?
Time. time with the character.
Okay.
I guess. So it cuts back to April and Andy, and Andy is upset that everybody is out doing this hunting trip. He would love to go hunting, and he's like, "Why is Mark there?" And I'm so jealous. And so April comes up with this great idea because we have been seeing that April has a bit of a fancy for Andy, and so she suggests this great plan to make Anne jealous, which is, if I gave you a hickey, Anne would be super jealous. And Andy's like, I don't know, that seems kind of weird, but April convinces him. And so he's like, all right, I'm going to go sanitize my neck, which is weird. So
he's thoughtful. I mean, it's like, hey, if you're going to do this prank, helping.
Yeah, I don't want you to get sick.
Exactly. Who knows?
I don't know where my neck has been.
Yeah. Who knows where it's been?
So, so that is Andy is in for the plan, cuts back to the cabin, and Anne confronts Tom about so the Ranger's leaving, and so Anne confronts Tom like, hey, you need to tell people that you shot Ron. Dun dun dun.
That was my spit take.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
perfect.
I wasn't drinking anything.
Yeah, theater of the mind. You shouldn't have told me that. I would totally have believed that you were drinking Werner's ginger ale, which is what they were drinking, which is a Midwestern ginger ale. One of the things I appreciate about this show is the location of little things like Werner's. My dad used to drink it, and he's from Michigan, so that's how I know. So,
how do you know it wasn't chew spit?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Well.
But the can was still Werner's. I know that much.
There you go. All right.
So, and I love how when Anne is confronting Tom's first reaction is like, all right, Anne wants me.
Yeah.
And then
we're finally doing this.
No, you're an idiot. Yeah, you're an idiot, Tom. And so then even after, it's like, all right, I'll go confess. But then can we talk about us? Tom's the worst. Right up there with Mark in this episode, because Mark is awful. And we can all agree on it. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you really hate Mark. I mean,
I do. I don't like him as a character at all.
He's a useless character, but I don't. Yeah, he's just boring. Like even when they're shooting into the hillside of a can. Like even the things that they do when he's there is like, this is boring. This doesn't do anything for the show. You guys are boring.
Yeah. Yes. So I think my dislike is justified. So
you have proven my point.
Thank you. So Tom confesses as Ron is still berating Leslie for shooting him in the head.
Literally saying, wait, don't confess because I'm not done berating Leslie yet for shooting me in the head. So great.
And so Tom confesses and says, Leslie was covering for me because Tom never got a hunting license. And then Ron is pissed. Like, you didn't get a hunting license? That's reckless endangerment. How dare you? But Ron respects Leslie for sticking up for Tom, for covering for Tom, because Leslie is a real stand-up guy.
Oh, finally. Everything she wanted out of this trip.
Yeah, to finally be one of the boys is a big deal for Leslie. And so here she is. And then to cap it all off, Anne pantses Tom again. And now Anne is the pants king, or as Leslie refers to it, the pants queen. And so they're all part of the gang, except for Tom, because Tom doesn't have a hunting license when everybody else does. So that's the hunting side of things. But then the end credits, it cuts back to the office, and Anne and Andy run into each other in the hallway. And Andy is covered in hickeys. He doesn't just have one; he has several hickeys. So April really probably, I don't know, had fun with that. And Anne is looking like very confused, and Andy believes this is causing the jealousy that he had hoped for.
Yeah, his look at the camera. Yep, mission accomplished.
Yeah, he's like, I can't look back. It's totally working. And then goes to the parks department, and they welcome back Ron.
This is one of my favorite scenes of almost the entire series.
Okay.
I just love this.
Tell me why. Explain the scene.
Oh, well, so they welcome Ron back. There's a big sign. They're in their conference room, and it says, "Welcome back, Ron," because he's been shot in the head. And there's this huge feast. It's got a turkey on there because they're hunting. There's like just a gorgeous spread, and everyone's excited and so nice, so excited to see Ron. And he turns around to look at the sign and goes, "Oh, you guys, you shouldn't have." And we see the back of his head is shaved with the buckshot wounds and the stitches sticking out and slightly bloody. And he turns back around and he goes, "All right, let's eat." And everyone is completely disgusted and has lost their appetite. And I just think that is just a fantastic reveal. And great end to the whole entire series. Because it's like he gets shot in the head, but we don't really actually see the fallout of it. And then it just wraps the whole thing up perfectly. It's fantastic.
With just his wound.
Just the one. Oh, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, I do like how Ron is game to do. So Nick Offerman is game to like cut his hair, shave his mustache, do all of these different terrible things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I enjoyed that very much. And looking at the food, it's like these are birds that they killed together, on this hunting trip.
Yeah,
but they're really grossed out by Ron's head.
Totally ruined, right? The hours of preparation down the toilet.
Yeah. One of the things that we didn't mention is like all of the traditions here, is when the first person who shoots something yells out, "Boola, boola, boola," and like there's all these traditions that are built in over the years. And, as they've been doing these hunting trips together, and Leslie is trying to break through tradition. And even here at the end, like, they've never had this shared feast together after the hunting trip.
Yeah.
Then they'll probably never have the hunting trip again because, somebody shot somebody in the head. But like all of the traditions, all of this stuff is like falling apart. And Ron is not happy about the breaking of tradition ever. He likes to do the same things with the same people, tell the same stories. And so now that is gone, but we see the team coming together more. Like we are becoming more family as the parks department.
Yeah. Because there aren't these things that are just kind of segregated and people feel left out of.
Right. Like Leslie is trying to unite the team.
It's addition by subtraction.
Yes. Sure. How? What?
Well, they lost the hunting trip, but they gained more camaraderie.
Yes. Okay. And Ron gained more buckshot in his head.
That's what I meant. Additional buckshot.
Win. Addition. Yeah, we don't know how much he has.
Right.
I have the toes I have.
So how does this?
That'll be later.
Yeah. Where does this rank up in your, the pantheon of Jason's favorite Parks and Rec episodes?
It is a fun episode.
Yeah.
I do not think it would come anywhere close to the top 10, though. Okay. What about you?
It's up there. I don't know if it would be top 10, but anytime the hunting trip I see it, I'm like, I will watch this whole thing. I'm not gonna check out. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It is a fun episode. Yeah. What were the ratings on the old IMDb device?
I like it. Once again, it's another one of those episodes where everyone's involved, which is nice. So we get a lot more Donna's character, Jerry, and if this were a standalone piece, you'd think Jerry was actually somewhat, capable,
competent.
Yeah, competent. But other than that, we get a little taste of everybody's personality again, and room to grow. It's good.
Yeah, I wish we would have had more. Well, it's probably the right amount, but April and Andy, like their relationship throughout the whole show, like I love their relationship. They're so fun.
Yeah.
I do wish there was a little bit more from them in this episode, but it was effective for what they did. This was directed and written by Greg Daniels. Michael Schur was a co-writer. This one gets an 8.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah.
Which is really high.
Yeah.
Considering Picaitis got like a 7.8, I think. So Yeah, it's a pretty good episode.
That's because Leslie
all told.
downvotes all the Pacitis episodes.
You think so?
I do.
You think fictional character Leslie Knope goes on to real IMDb and downvotes things?
I mean, it's not out of the range of possibility.
Huh. Okay.
Because I believe in a multiverse. I mean, it could happen.
Okay. Perhaps.
Is that how multiverses work? Like anything can happen?
Yeah. Any number of possible options have happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so every possible decision has spurred out a new multiverse. Yeah. But maybe isn't a thing.
Maybe we're in that timeline. I don't know.
Maybe we're in the darkest timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm walking through here, IMDb has this great little trivia section, and this is a bunch of firsts. This is the beginning of the running gag throughout Leslie run into Councilman Hauser, which we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
This is also the first reference to Jerry's family, and so we will learn more about their family as well. And the music is All Out of Love by Air Supply. This episode, this is weird. This episode is on the bonus features of Bridesmaids.
Huh.
On the DVD of Bridesmaids.
Well, now we'll have to do an episode on Bridesmaids.
I do own that DVD. I'm going to go look to see if it's actually on there. That is weird.
All right, we'll wait.
All right, I'm back. So the other fun thing is when they're talking. No, that's a different thing. Sorry, I got distracted.
That's not fun.
I started thinking about a different episode. I read this trivia piece, and then started thinking about a different episode, not connected.
It happens.
They are wearing orange clothing because Indiana law requires that hunters wear at least one item of orange clothing. Yeah,
that's attention to detail right there. Verner's and orange clothing.
Yeah, well, I do think most places require you to wear, when you're hunting, to wear some orange so that you don't get shot by other hunters.
Oh, I thought it was because deer are colorblind.
Well, I think that is a part of it. I think the orange helps you to be seen by hunters, and deer they don't see it.
So Tom is colorblind. That's what we've learned. That's what we learned today.
Wow, that's great.
All right.
Thank you for opening my eyes to that obvious fact.
Right.
Tom is colorblind.
Well, we'll add that to IMDb.
All right. I'll do it right now.
Cool. So what's up next? We got, looks like season 2, episode 11, Tom's divorce is next.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah. That's going to be a sad one.
Yeah.
I really like Tom. And so, Tom's divorce gets a 7.9. Wow.
All
right. It's going to be fun.
Way to end on a bummer. All right. Well,
I just remembered like all the things that are a part of this episode, and that's good. And then we're going to get Tom's divorce, followed by the Christmas scandal, where we're going to meet Councilman Dexhart. And then the setup, which is with Will Arnett. And oh man, there's so many good things coming up. It's getting better and better. Galentine's Day, Woman of the Year Award. Oh my word, this is going to be good. So, again, all of these episodes, like Woman of the Year Award, 8.1. I don't know.
Yeah, season 2, they really start hitting their stride.
Well, I just am saying, like, I think that one, Woman of the Year Award, I think is a better episode than the hunting trip.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
We'll have to see. We'll have to compare and contrast when we get there.
I have to do a scan here real quick, because this is the highest rated episode of this entire season, according to IMDb.
The hunting trip?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It's
the second highest. There's 2 that are tied for second highest. Can you guess which ones?
Of season 2?
Of season 2.
The setup.
No.
Did we already watch it?
No,
Is it bigger than a bread box? Animal,
I would imagine
mineral, or I don't know. What is it?
94 meetings
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great.
and the master plan.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the master plan is a great episode. So yeah, I'm just very confused by the ratings here. Oh, and then Freddy Spaghetti is actually the second highest. So Freddy Spaghetti, 8.7. Master Plan, 8.6. 94 meetings, 8.6. The ratings are all over the place. So, all right. Now we're just rambling. So we should probably be done.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. Well, you Jeremy, you have yourself a great day and enjoy some more Parks and Rec.
Thanks. You do the same, Jason, and
I will.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Bye.